When I arrived in the garage, the team was fully set up. Many of them had arrived the night before and established our corner of the paddock, and were testing and tuning.
Back down to 180 off. Okay.
It'll kick on at 180 by itself.
Throughout the test day, our drivers drove and communicated concerns to our crew, who did their best to address them. One main issue was the Lumina's habit of just kind of turning off on the racetrack or bogging down coming out of curves. That made it really hard to complete a lap. Throughout the day and on to the next, we kept getting it started but didn't quite know why or how, but it behaved well enough to get us on the grid, so that's a win.
Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? So I guess we did a repair on it. It's called fuel in the gas tank procedure.
Oh, we had to catch GPT that one.
Yeah.
Fuel air spark.
So we got it to start more reliably, but after some laps it still had the tendency to die on us.
Alright, so here's a summary. Actually, I'm gonna film these cars real quick. Look at that. Okay, so here's a summary of where we're at. We passed everything for the tech inspection except for one thing, and that is the exhaust. The exhaust pipe needs to go past the driver compartment, so kind of right about where my foot is right there. So what we're looking for is a little 2-foot extension of pipe. So it really just kind of go like that and then connect right there. As soon as we get that, we can pass tech. We did have some roll cage suggestions. Obviously we can't do that today, but for the next race we'll definitely want to do that. And yeah, we've had on track. Chris did about 7 or 8 laps. The coil packs kind of went out on it, and then by the time I got on track, I did about 3 laps. On the 3rd lap, it was just kind of dying all over the place. I actually had to pull over and restart the car, put it in park and everything, which was a little bit sketch. But we got some new coil packs on, and hopefully that works. We got Jake underneath it right now, changing the location of the transponder to be in a less crashy place. That's about it. Woo, look at that. So that's about it. Check in when we get on the track. So we got the 2-inch exhaust extension. It fits, so we might be good as soon as we get it on the chassis.
With our tech inspection passed, there was one thing left to do. Convince the judges that the racing Lumina was in fact a $500 car.
Why are they back here?
I don't know, but they've got a theme with them this time.
Just a side note, bribes and humor, they go a long way.
It's kind of hard to take it seriously.
We're here to unveil the tart truth, the Lemonati and the citrus conspiracy. This lemon juice. If lemons can cook shrimp, they can certainly power a race car. There are many efforts to suppress lemons as a viable fuel source in favor of traditional gasoline by big oil.
It sounds like it's Chat GPT. I already got it. It's like plug in my lemon.
You think we would do that?
Yeah.
We absolutely do.
Squeezy. Is this like lemon bars?
Yes.
Oh, lemon bars!
Yeah. So, Gene, you mind if I did a stencil? I haven't done a stencil today.
I gotta say, this is one of the proudest moments at Lemons.
Oh yeah.
The bribe and the speech that the crew made worked. We're gonna get our stencil.
First one this year.
We won!
Best judges.
Good job, sir. Good job.
It was time to get back to the garage and then to the camp. Some serious adventure awaits us tomorrow. Time to finish setting up shop.
Totally found the problem. Dude, it turns out, so the fuel tank is going to have fuel that comes from the fuel tank and it goes up into the fuel system.
Yeah.
And then it has to return, right? It returns back to the tank. So you have this continuous flow of fuel, right?
Yeah.
That sloshes around a lot, right? Well, then you have to have air that goes in there.
Yeah.
Well, they just, instead of having the air go to purge out of the system,
Yeah.
they just closed it off.
What, dude?
Well, you're not supposed to do that.
No. That's awesome.
We figured it out.
Nice.
With the majority of our problems figured out, we were on cloud 9. There's only one thing left to do.
Drive it like you stole it. I think interpretive dance. Right, get it.
It's 8 o'clock and it's about hour and a half until driver's meeting. So I'll just take you for a little tour. Of my setup. So I brought the Bronco with me. Great car. Slept in that hammock right there. It was actually surprisingly comfortable. Surrounded by some RVs. Got the little single speed bike there. Not a bad setup. It worked pretty well. I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel some nerves going into this. I've done autocross, rallycross, track days, sim racing, but never wheel to wheel. Inches away from other fast-moving beasts made of steel, glass, and rubber. I was up first. Time to test it all out. I'm not afraid to admit, I did say a prayer or two. It's almost go time. Crew is taking last couple of looks.
I knew we'd find it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm probably just gonna use analog.
After what seemed like 100 laps under yellow, waiting for the last remaining cars to join the track, we were green. And you know what? Lumina, well, they handled pretty well. The awkwardly tall tires seemed to be holding up to some seriously outrageous corners. All in all, this late 90s Grochi getter, it was a beast. Laps going on, I found myself venturing ever closer to the other cars and braking later, in search of opportunities for overtakes. The Shopaholics were officially racing. You know, they say in motorsports, you gotta expect the unexpected. They were right. I definitely wasn't expecting this.
I'm gonna bring it in. We gotta test out the brakes.
I kept late braking and passing people to the inside. Did that to one guy. Another one was coming up, so I figured, what the heck? After I pass him, I'll try one more. Little did I know there was trouble brewing, literally underfoot. I lost 100% of brakes, and I grew up skiing. I knew if I could get to that grass and kind of ski myself to a stop, I'd be all right. So that's what I did. Sounds silly, but all I could think about was getting this car back to the pit so the other drivers could drive it, see if we could finish the race. As soon as I got back to the pits, I got out of the car and started walking around it, looking for something to fix. But to be honest, my adrenaline-soaked brain was in no shape to make mechanical decisions. The crew took over, and eventually, I jumped back in the car and finished my stint. And on my heels, our second stint driver, Thomas, was itching to go.
It's a fun car to drive. Little sketch, but fun to drive.
Yeah.
Alright, little sketch. He needs a lot of sketch. It's got all the sketch. Basically, we're making pictures over here with so much sketch.
Extra sketch.
Extra sketch.
I'm going to jump in the side and just point out the problem. It's not part of the break. Yeah. Part of the break.
Need something?
I'm pumping the brakes, starting at the 4 marker into turn 2, and then again here, a little bit of trail brake, and pump brakes starting here. This is boiling. Yeah, marker though. Anyway, just going into the straights, you got to start pumping at like marker 4, otherwise you're not going to make the turn. And then, you know, trail braking, so.
If it gets hot, flip that up, but they should just be running anyways. So you're good. Here? Yeah, just worry about not hitting the brakes and have some fun, man.
Our second stint driver, Thomas, is a real live and certified racing driver, youngest of the crew and more seat time than any of us. He races open-wheeled Formula 4, and he pushed the Lumina without breaking it, like a certain narrator did. Anyway, watch the smooth input while maintaining speed. That definitely bought us some time, some longevity, some laps. Don't let the overtakes in this clip fool you. Despite our preconceptions, we were actually up against quite a few race cars, and our humble Lumina was punching well above her weight.
How's he doing, Max?
Oh, he's doing a great job.
Okay.
Great job. Just as we had planned it. We practiced this 1,000 times.
Oh.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing at this point.
Oh, there's the man.
I got it.
Half the day was gone, and it was time to change the brakes. They should last the next few hours. What you couldn't see on camera is just on the other side of the car, Jake was changing the brakes on the other side.
Remember, try to maintain 2 hands.
And now he's at the helm. In a few minutes, he'll be testing his own work. And mine.
Top strap.
Despite the struggles, we were finally starting to think we could actually finish the day's race. It's more than we'd expected to do, and we were doing it. We learned that on track, the flat wide gas tank only works to half full due to fuel starvation on sweeping turns, and that the boiling brake fluid was a mechanical issue and not just my gung-ho braking style. All we had to do was drive smooth till sunset. We were getting close to finishing a day of racing. Everyone could feel it.
Okay, be careful. Margin, margin, margin. Shake and bake!
By now our little race car was tired, and the narrow tires could hardly take the punishment the twisting road course was doling out. But we pressed on. And to our amazement, the day finally came to a close, and the Lumina was still running.
Excellent! Way to go, Mom!
Our brand new team had done the impossible, and we were pretty stoked.
Live from Jennings, Oklahoma, it is Saturday night.
Saturday evening was a night of celebration and preparation. Our reward for making it this far was the fact that we get to wake up and do it all over again in the morning.